tampered with the stability of space-time. The multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished, unpunished, unpunished.
It was the only way. But I never meant for any of this to happen. Wanda.
I knew sooner or later you'd show up. I made mistakes, and people were hurt.
I'm not here to talk about Westview.
Then what are you here for?
I need your help.
With what?
What do you know about the multiverse?
I'm sorry, Stephen. I hope you understand. The greatest threat to our universe is you.
Things just got out of hand.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my full Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer video. Marvel dropped the official trailer, nice shiny footage. There's a bunch of Easter eggs, so we'll break it all down. Yes, this was the Spider-Man No Way Home post-credit scene, and it was basically the trailer that they just attached to the end of the movie. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We're doing a giveaway for IMAX tickets for the movie. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and just leave your favorite Easter egg from the trailer on the video. But now that we actually have the full trailer online, it's a little bit easier to talk about all these moments for people that either haven't seen the movie yet or who are just waiting for the trailer to drop. The big thing they're teasing here, obviously, that it's going to be focused on a lot of Doctor Strange's variants, if we're getting into Loki, Kang, Multiverse War Easter eggs. So there's a lot of similarities, and I believe that a version of Loki is also supposed to show up during this movie at some point. But it starts with a bunch of voiceover dialogue from Spider-Man No Way Home from different parts of the movie where Wong is yelling at Doctor Strange, "Don't perform that spell," talking about the spell to make everyone forget that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Careful for spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home, just because I do have to talk about some stuff that happens during that movie with the spell, because it's critical for what's happening during Multiverse of Madness. So when Spider-Man botches the spell, it creates all these tears in reality, and it sort of reverses the intended effect of the spell, so everybody who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man from every single universe in the multiverse slowly starts to come to the MCU like they're pulled by a magnet. But Doctor Strange stops the spell and contains it before it can get worse. But then at the end of the movie, when his box gets blown up, the spell gets released, it gets worse, and reality starts to tear all over the place like you're tearing a painting in half. Probably the worst thing that could possibly happen next to the Kang Multiverse War. When he performs the second spell to make everyone forget Peter Parker just in general, that sort of stops the negative effects, but it doesn't reverse any of the damage that they caused before. So later in the trailer, when you hear Baron Mordo yelling at Doctor Strange, "Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished," and he says the greatest threat to the multiverse is you, he's obviously talking about all the different Doctor Strange variants, not just our MCU Doctor Strange. But it's the idea that each of these different Doctor Strange variants do something really terrible to mess up reality. It's sort of a contest that all the Marvel Phase 4 characters are having to see who can mess up the multiverse the worst. So it'll be fun to see all these different Doctor Strange variants and find out what they did in their own realities. Then they have the dialogue from Spider-Man No Way Home of Doctor Strange telling Spider-Man that the multiverse is a concept about which they have very little information, about which they know very little. And they also include that line of dialogue from Doctor Strange in Avengers Infinity War when he's talking to Iron Man saying this was the only way before he got snapped by Thanos. The one way in 14 million that they beat Thanos. So it's just another reference to the way that they fundamentally altered reality to bring everyone back. That was a plot point during Spider-Man No Way Home as well, where he tells Spider-Man, "We changed reality fundamentally to bring back half of the universe, and you want me to do it again just because you're having a bad time." They show you Doctor Strange's broken watch from the first Doctor Strange movie that Christine gave him. I talked about this during my last Doctor Strange video, but I love that they're using the imagery of the broken watch, because obviously it's important for his personal relationship to Christine, who we see getting married to someone else during the trailer, but also the idea that time is broken, the whole thing with Kang and the Multiverse War, Master of Time, time travel villain. The idea that Doctor Strange messing with reality also includes the timelines. This looks like it could have been a scene right out of What If Episode 4, the Doctor Strange episode where Doctor Strange Supreme destroys his entire reality to try and undo an absolute point in time so that his Christine won't die. Like, all of reality is slowly breaking down on a fundamental level. Like I said before, I believe that this sanctum belongs to one of the other Doctor Strange variants, maybe the evil version of Doctor Strange, or the evil-looking version. That could be the live-action version of Doctor Strange Supreme, or it might just be another version who just looks a little bit like him. Either way, they're trying to make us think from the way they cut the trailer that that is the main villain of the film. Like, it's going to be one of the Doctor Strange variants, or one of the worst variants. The same way that He Who Remains Kang during the Loki finale said that he might be bad, like, you might think that I'm the devil, but wait till you meet my variants, they're way worse than I am. I love the custom Marvel Studios logo with the broken-looking prism. Like, it's meant to represent all these alternate facets, all these different Doctor Strange variants, but also in these different facets, they show you different versions of the Marvel Studios logo that we've had over the different eras of the films during the different phases. Like, during the Marvel Phase 1 movies, the Marvel Studios intro logo looked like this. During Marvel Phase 2, it changed again just a little bit. Then during Marvel Phase 3, they changed it again, and the more modern one during Marvel Phase 4 looks like this now. The pictures in the logo in the background too, as the pages kind of flip like they used to do in the Marvel Studios logo, are just from the Doctor Strange comics. I was actually looking for some X-Men in here, like zoom, enhance, do we see any X-Men in the background here? But also the idea that reality is breaking, like the reality of the MCU, like you would normally think of it with this logo, is breaking into many different pieces. As if all the times that Doctor Strange and the Avengers have messed with reality using the Infinity Stones during Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, and then during Spider-Man No Way Home with the spell, have just fundamentally fractured reality more and more, along with what the other Doctor Strange variants have been doing in their own universes. Then I guess I'm not totally surprised that he's not yelling at Wanda because of what happened with Wandavision, the Hex, in Westview. They only have about 2.5 hours to get through the plot of this movie, so they'll probably brush over briefly what happened during the events of Wandavision. Like, she seems very remorseful about what happened. For those of you asking, yes, he does know about the Darkhold because we see him using it later in the trailer, so obviously he's here to get her help because she is powerful, he knows about her chaos magic, and he knows that she's gotten much more powerful. Based on the way they present this, I'm assuming that the place where he's coming to visit her is near where the cabin was at the end of the WandaVision post-credit scene. But the actual house that's in this landscape here looks different than the house from WandaVision. Wanda would know a little bit about the multiverse after reading The Darkhold for so long. I'm assuming it's been a small time jump since the end of the WandaVision post-credit scene, because that was meant to take place pretty soon after the events of Avengers Endgame, and Spider-Man No Way Home ends the Christmas of 2024, about a year and a half after the events of WandaVision. So you have to assume that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness takes place just a little bit after the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, so it's been even longer, almost a full 2 years. So she's had almost 2 years of studying the Darkhold. This is Doctor Strange going with America Chavez to visit whatever nexus of space-time is represented by this place here. It just seems like this ancient temple that contains some power source that's critical to whatever they're trying to do during the movie. Like, it'll be their Infinity Stone level item, just in terms of importance. It's not totally clear what's going on here when this cloud moves in on Kamar Taj, but when you see this explosion here, you can actually see Rintrah, the Minotaur, in this group with all the other sorcerers. He is a powerful sorcerer from the comics. There were a couple other characters that they featured in the merchandise too, like Sleepwalker and Despair, so we might get some cameos from those characters in the movie too. They said that they're using a lot of the reshoots for the movie right now, extensive reshoots, to put in a bunch of extra cameo scenes and other cool characters. Then whatever's going on here, Scarlet Witch looks like she's casting some really powerful spell with her chaos magic, levitating in the air, but if you look at her fingers are going black, just like Agatha Harkness's fingers went black. That could just be because of how long she's been using the Darkhold and just the way she's using her chaos magic. It could just be part of the toll that's taken on her body. It doesn't look like she has the Darkhold with her here, but we see Doctor Strange using it here when it looks like he's manipulating chaos magic. So whatever spell he's weaving here, the Darkhold is glowing red with chaos magic, so are all these items that are spinning around him. So it sounds like he's trying to weave some spell that's inside the Darkhold. We get a better look at the spell that Doctor Strange weaves when he's trying to protect America Chavez. Wong is standing next to him here too, like those giant snakes, those dragon-looking creatures that just sprout out of his hands. Then, like I said in my last video, this is Gargantos. It's not Shumagorath, even though the giant floaty eyeball with a bunch of tentacles makes you think of Shumagorath. When he goes to see Doctor Strange Supreme, or Evil Doctor Strange, who looks really shady and says things just got out of hand, they're giving us a lot of Loki, He Who Remains vibes with this whole version of the Sanctum here. Like, you see the event horizon of this giant cosmic storm behind them, and this is meant to be the same room that you see our Doctor Strange weaving the spell with the Darkhold in, except this entire wall of the Sanctum, where you would normally see the window, has just been blown out, and it just opens up to the vacuum of space, whatever his reality is breaking down behind them. So it's just meant to let you know that there are a lot of similarities between the versions of their characters, even though it seems like they're going to have some fundamental disagreement about whatever's going on during the movie. But he's just giving off a lot of Doctor Strange Supreme vibes, even though Strange Supreme kind of turned good by the end of his series. The other version of Doctor Strange that we see during the trailer and during the poster here, like there's a couple different versions of the poster, is Defender Strange. He's the one that wears the costume that looks like the Defenders comic book costume. That's why I'm calling him Defender Strange. They might call him something different during the movie. You see him with a ponytail spinning around through dimensions here, the same way we saw our Doctor Strange in the first Doctor Strange movie getting sent through all the different dimensions by the Ancient One. Then they reveal the brand new logo for the movie, so all this swirling in the background here is obviously just reality itself, just sort of bleeding into each other, things breaking down, things going completely crazy. Like a giant cosmic soup, all getting mixed together in a really bad way. And the reason why it looks red in color, like reddish, is for red chaos magic, implying that Scarlet Witch, the Darkhold, chaos magic in general, is going to play a huge role in what's happening during the events of the film. It'll be fun to see how they invoke some Easter eggs for the Celestials and other really big cosmic characters during this too, because obviously Arishem the Judge, the other Celestials during the Eternals movie, have their own giant cosmic plan. They're crazy powerful, so they would also probably get a little upset if reality started breaking down around them. I've also already talked about some of the other cameo scenes in the concept art that we've seen, like full-blown Professor X in a version of his floaty chair from X-Men the Animated Series with Ultron robots. There's rumors that Michael Fassbender's Magneto is also going to get a cameo, so hopefully there'll be some Easter eggs for his relationship with Scarlet Witch in the comics. I know a lot of people have asked if they're going to use this to bring Deadpool into the MCU, because that seems like another multiverse explainer. I haven't heard any Deadpool rumors recently, just the X-Men rumors in this movie. But if you spotted any other big Easter eggs in the trailer that I didn't talk about in this video or in my last Doctor Strange 2 trailer video, just write them below in the comments. And I just posted my Hawkeye Episode 6 finale video with Kingpin, Yelena Belova. I think our next big Marvel Disney Plus series is going to be Moon Knight, so that's actually going to be really, really cool. While you wait for everything, click here for that full Hawkeye Episode 6 finale video, and click here for my full Spider-Man No Way Home post-credit scene video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.